Butlers have a power level of 2. They take 8 shovel hits to kill on multiplayer and 2 shovel hits to kill on single player, and the max amount of butlers that can spawn are 7. Here are your spawn chances for each moon. Butlers will attack players after being around them for a little bit if the player is alone. Otherwise, if a butler has seen another player in the past 12 seconds, then it will not attack. This means it is best to loot closely with another player if a butler is around to ensure it will not attack. It's okay to leave each other's side for a little bit, but longer than 12 seconds and you risk the butler aggroing one of you. If a butler is angry at an alone player, then coming into contact with a second player will result in the butler putting its knife away and acting like it never happened. Attacking a butler will cause it to pull out its knife even if another player is around you. Another thing that forces a butler to aggro is seeing another butler's corpse. This will make the butler pull out its knife and chase you, avenging his friend. Hitting a butler around other butlers will aggro all butlers in line of sight. Walking into butlers can aggro them. They like their personal space. Using the knife that drops from the butler, you can one-hit butlers in either solo or multiplayer, and using a shotgun, you can two-shot in multiplayer and one-shot in single player. The butler does 10 damage per stab, and here's a quick demonstration of the speed of the butler and how fast it kills you. After dying, the butler will pop and send you flying, so be careful around heights and pits. Masked hornets will then take place of the butler after its death. The hornets do 10 damage and cannot be killed. Upon death, the butler also drops a knife worth 35 credits when sold. When killing a player, the butler will clean up the blood, then run super far from the crime scene. Here are now a few tips for killing butlers and handling the butler bees. The best thing you can use against butlers are doors. Butlers are horrible at trying to open doors and getting through doors, even though their door open time is about a second. It is buggy, it doesn't work. They are horrible at getting through doors. So any butler you have, just try and slap it behind a door to get away from it, or use the door to kill it. And I'll show you that here in a sec. You are able to use any mansion door or facility door to hit through to kill the butler. However, this will not work on mineshaft doors. For mansion tile, the first spot we're going to look at is the main entrance door. You can jump on top of it and kill the butler as so from the top. This next spot is just to show that it doesn't work anymore. The tiny bookshelves that you used to be able to kill butlers on, you cannot anymore. They can stab you through it. In kitchen, you can go on top of the fridge and use the fridge to kill the butler. Here, it will not be able to stab you either. Using the spot here in the library tile, you can avoid the butler or use it as a spot to kill the butler. You can also use any fireplace room by just hopping on top of the fireplace and kill the butler there. You are still able to jump on top of doors and use these as safe spots or spots for killing the butler. For facility, we'll start in the belt room. This first spot, you can jump down into where the pallets are here and make sure you're on the lower level here. And if you stand in the middle of the stair, the butler will just stand there and look at you, and from there you can hit the butler. Next, you can use any one of these shelves you find to hop on top of and kill the butler from up top. Anytime you see one of these pumps in the corner, you can jump on top of them. There's a few in belt room, a few in some of the loot rooms, and the butler will not be able to hit you from on top of them. Next, we will talk about the stair tile. You can no longer jump in this spot for the butler anymore. Zeekerss patched it out. If you try and jump there, you'll die. But the spot to the left of it, you can perfectly jump on top of, and the butler will path right next to you. You can also use this for a lot of other entities. And for the last spot here, you can use the apparatus by just jumping on top of it here. The butler won't be able to path to you, and you can still hit it. For mineshaft, you can actually use the doors, but not in the way you think. The door needs to be closed, not open, and just by standing in the center, next to the door, the butler will not be able to stab you. He just kind of stands there, and from there you can just hit him. Just a reminder that you cannot kill butlers through the door on the mineshaft. If you have the door closed, you just won't be doing damage. You can see here, I'm trying to hit, I open the door, butler's still there. But having the door closed, and being on the same side as the butler, you're able to kill him. Sometimes you can use these red generators that are around. They don't always work, so it's very unreliable, but you can see the one I'm on right now. It's a easy way to just avoid him. What's really cool is I was actually able to find some cave tiles that you're able to kill the Butler. If you jump in this spot here on the cave tile that goes down, that doesn't split, you can jump in the spot and just be able to hit the Butler from where you are. You'll kind of float there. For when there's a downward slope and it splits into two, you can jump in this spot right here, and the Butler will not be able to hit you, and you can hit the Butler. Best way to get in this spot is to be as far left as possible, and this will just allow you to float above the Butler. A decent strategy overall is that if you have a Butler, play close to a teammate but not right on top of them. Try and find a door to put the Butler behind, then loot for a little and be in earshot of your teammate to call for help if the Butler escapes and finds you. This will give you more time to loot, and you won't be looting the exact same areas as your teammate. And lastly, one fun fact is that if you have an aggroed Butler on you and the ship takes off, you will have infinite Butler music, and it's really annoying. That's all for this video. Please subscribe and check out my Twitch. I stream there almost every day, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.